Let us start. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Wow, so excited. Want to listen to the sharing from the education team. Warm welcome to Abode Masters, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. Let us start the session for today. This morning, I would like to share a short excerpt from Master Cheng speech from the year-end blessing ceremony at Northern Taiwan on the 27th of December. Master says, both you and I must be there. My gratitude to you all cannot be described by words. Everyone is true and sincere, and with such sincere piety, we are united in strength. This is not just a practice or a rehearsal. It is the gathering of bodhisattvas from many previous lives. Both you and I must be there, and none of us is indispensable on the bodhisattva path. When infinite number of greater selves comes together, every family will be able to show blessings, bringing peace and safety to all in the world. Grateful to Master's teaching. Now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Hualien be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piety.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. From my heart, I pray. May we join our hands, our hearts as one. Spread the seeds of great love, nurture wisdom evermore. Let us fill the world with hope. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas know my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter. In
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disaster in this world. Let us together pray for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our masters to lead us in paying homage to Teacher Jen. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng and making few sincere bow. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Master who could join us today. Okay, today we have sharing from education teams. Footprints of Love in Nepal. There will be two groups from Singapore and Malaysia. They are Brother Pock, Brother Fong, Sister Suat Kheng, and Sister Stephanie. And later followed by Brother Christopher for the sharing. Before that, let us invite Sister Su Ching for the weekly summary. Sister Su Ching, over to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, here we are. Oh my goodness. I'm a bit rusty. Wait, hold on. I know why this one won't open. Okay. Okay, last week we had Brother Faisal. Brother Faisal, a Chinese Muslim, went on a life-changing trip to Syria, recording the plight of the refugees. A common plea emerged that was very clear. The parents and children want continued education for the kids. So Brother Faisal and his wife started a mission to record the many potential students and made a bold bid. The data of 200 students was sent to Taiwan, and the message went straight to Master Ben. A few twists of hard work and fate. And on 24th January 2015, a few hundred students went to school again. The feeling was not just of pure happiness, but also that of hope. With education, a whole generation is equipped with tools for any challenge to cope. 8 years on, the children have become adults, and even a university is in place. Many students are taking medicine, engineering, and management, ready for the future, for a future they can embrace. Brother Faisal is hopeful that the seeds that have been sowed will turn into big trees in the future. That is already happening when, during global disasters, giving has become the school's culture. Students gather to give all that they can to calamities in Taiwan, Philippines, Ukraine, to name a few. Together with donations, children leave messages of being one family, which can bring tears of joy to you. The school has attracted the attention of the President of Turkey and even United Nations too. All these came to being through the power of determination to see a meaningful vow through. There is little we cannot do when the heart is willing and the intentions are right. Love from all over the world will unite. That can literally move mountains with its gentle and kind might. Then we have Brother David Liu. There were 3 questions. Question 1 was about Master's phrase about there being no one I don't love, don't trust, and don't forgive. What about politicians who lie and cheat? Is it right to continue with this perspective? Brother David said that we must first remember that we are all born pure and good. That is our innate nature of Buddhahood. We can forgive anyone, anything, but we need to use wisdom too. It is that wisdom that will guide us into knowing what to do. Question 2 was about a young person living abroad and taking drugs which have been legalized. How does one convince him to avoid the drug that is seen to be ill-advised? Brother David said that many things are legal, like the guns in the United States, but irresponsible killing with guns and the legality of its ownership are two matters that are separate. For potentially harmful items, most legal status come with it, a hefty degree of responsibility. That responsibility needs to be weighed carefully before consuming. Won't you agree? Question 3 asked about whether going to the Amitabha Pure Land is a shortcut to Buddhahood. Brother David clarified that Tzu Chi is all about inner cultivation and outward contribution as we should. There are no shortcuts, he said. The Jingsi Dharma lineage is a step-by-step personal improvement. Let us not be concerned about the labels, but be mindful of our self-development and assessment. That is it from me today. I'll pass over to Sister Su Ching to introduce the next speakers. Thank you for listening.
感恩 Sister Lily for the wonderful hosting of this session. From prayers and Sister Su Ching wonderful summary. Almost welcome everyone. 敬爱的商人 masters, brothers and sisters from across the world.
Sister Su Ching, there's an echo.
Yeah, okay. And for inviting brothers and sisters. I'm sure everyone is looking forward to today's sharing. Still got echo.
Yes, she's got.
Okay, now it's better. Okay, today, recently we from medical mission. And today we are most grateful to have with us brother from the education side. We are grateful to have volunteers from Singapore and Malaysia. From brother Fong, who is in charge of Singapore teenager class. Yeah, I'm also thinking.
You have two equipment on.
You have to switch off one of them.
Only got one. Okay. Let me try. Then we have brother Fu from Singapore, a member of Tzu Chi Association, Sister Ang Kheng, our Penang branch, and Sister Stephanie, who is in charge of KL Selangor education. We are most grateful to have a wonderful team to share. Without much ado, let us pass to Sister Stephanie to start the session.
Very good morning. And so much, Sister Tzu Ching, and can all the brothers and sisters for this wonderful opportunity to be able to share about our team's footprints in Nepal. So I'm really very grateful for the opportunity to actually go to Nepal this time. And if you can see this picture, there's a lot of hearts, footprints of love, I say. Why I mentioned footprint of love is because even before we went there, we can really feel so much love that is gathered, by everybody, for this master's master's wishes to spread Dharma and benefit lives, Hong Fa Li Shen in Nepal. So today, 4 of us will share little bits of these footprints. Like I was telling Sister Su Ching just now, it's like so difficult to share everything, that we have gone through, but we'll try our best, yeah? Okay. So even before we went, before I went, really so many people have sent us the blessings. And even the shopkeeper that I went to buy the items that needed to cook nasi lemak there, he said, okay, I'll sponsor you the items. He even put 500 ringgit in my hands and say, nah, take this. So you can imagine that the love here, in fact, I recall our Sister Yvonne garnering all the loves from everybody to Hong Foundation as well. So truly, the love has been, we hope that every footprint that we brought over, that we step is really filled with love. But before I start, I just wanted to maybe test you all a bit early in the morning, whether you all know where is Nepal or not. Test your geography a bit. So I give you a few options. A is next to India, B next to China, C next to Bhutan, D all the above, E none of the above. So maybe brothers and sisters, you can just key in the chat and let me see. Let me see anybody has a very good student here. D, sister, D. Everybody say D. Macam very clever already, everybody. Correct. It is actually surrounded by all these countries. As you can see, there's no sea around Nepal. It's a very inland country. Okay, next. Correct. Next, I want to ask you guys, do you think this boy is doing, this is the boy we met in our, we went to Lumbini. It's a boy we met. Lumbini has a very rural villages around it, okay? So this is one of the boy we met at one of our home visits. Anybody want to try? He's got this stick in his mouth now. Early in the morning, I can see people with the stick inside their mouth. What do you think they're doing? And you want to try? Su Ching say brushing teeth. Yes, brushing teeth. Anybody else? Oh, I think everybody goes along with Sister Su Ching, the answer. Okay, you're right. In fact, they are brushing their teeth. Can you imagine? And I tell you, their teeth is very white, very beautiful one. This got us to talk about how to really brush teeth nowadays, just the other day when we were on the Hong Kong platform. Okay, great. Next one. Test y'all. Who lives here? The houses all look almost like this in the villages, most of them. But who lives here? Anybody want to try? I'm sure by this time this one is their water. There's no pipe water. It's like this. You want to wash your hand, you have to pump the water. Okay, let's see. Who lives here? Whole family lives here. One family. You see clearly a bit or not? I give you a clue. Da-da-da! Who lives here? Josephine also say a family. You're right. Actually, it's the whole family. But the cow is part of the family. Cows are sacred in Nepal and it's against the law to kill cows. So they treat cows with so much respect. In fact, the cow shed is bigger than their house. And next to the cow shed, right, is the house. There, here, the humans live here. The cow live here. So it's really amazing, to see the way they treat just their cows. In fact, in this other house, right, 3 people live here. But you know who lives here? Their chickens. Their chickens live here. Their house is very basic. Sleeping quarters and kitchen. Itu saja. No frills, no trills. Just kitchen and sleeping quarters. That's all. And of course, you have some buildings like this is like shops and stuff like that. Okay, great. So maybe that's all the quiz I have. I have more for next session. So maybe just to go back the Tzu Chi affinity, as Master said, Master was recalling the Tzu Chi affinity. Tzu Chi affinity started in 1993. That's like more than, that's like 30 years ago, right? During the flood. And as you know, we still have this Tzu Chi Chun. And every affinity actually a seed actually came up already. A seed was planted. I'll share with you later. And also there was an affinity during the earthquake in 2015, right? And of course, during the COVID, where we actually start to work together with Venerable Maitali, to seek to actually share the the relief goods to Nepal. And of course, the most recent being during the Sutra adaptation team at Taiwan, when they go to video the footprints of Buddha, they found this boy. Remember this boy, Sandip? And Master said, look for this boy. And after looking for this boy, of course, this boy is not in Nepal. He's actually in Rashgray, but which is actually 4 of the points where the Buddha's footprints were covered. So because of that, right, the Hong Fa Li Sen, or spread Dharma and benefit lives, Master's wishes to do that, to repay the Buddha's grace, came about. And that's why we first the medical team went in, because they lack really medical. And of course, Master says now to transform Nepal through education. And therefore, today we would like to share the education team after the medical team, footprints of love in Lumbini, Nepal. And so this is our team, our education team, and we have a Singapore team actually led by Brother Tan Chai Hoon, and today our sharer will be Brother Cocky and Brother Pock. And then the Penang team or Malaysia team is led by Sister Kheng, who will be sharing with us also. And our KL Selangor team is led by Sister Tzu Chi, who is actually in Taiwan now reporting to Master. All right, so 17 of us actually left to Lumbini from KLIA. It was Lumbini to KLIA. There was a direct flight, and the journey was around 3,000 kilometers away. This is the first time we all met each other, and we went there at night, so we reached there about midnight, right? But the next morning, we received the warmest welcome as usual, from our family members. And this is Brother Seo, our YCO. He came and then he actually, pulled our luggage bag for us, see how warm is that. And then we met our family in Lumbini. This is our Lumbini center, our Lumbini branch office. You can see it's very small, but it's actually full of love. So our families there, our CEO team is there for long term, and we have long-term volunteers there as well. All right. So I was just thinking, the building actually is small, but it does represent the word He or unity, as Master always point out, the importance of unity. Of course, even the dog welcomed us, so cute. The place is actually, there are more, like I was saying, there are more cows, there are more goats and more dogs on the road than cars and people. All right. So anyhow, of course, we received our morning gentle reminder already welcoming from our 大家长, our leader, the Brother Dr. Tang, there, who's permanently there actually. So just to share with you what we did now, just a very quick summary of what we did. From 14th to 24th December, we did mainly these 7 things. Firstly, there was a school distribution, 6 schools to about 2,000 children. Second, we had 2 sessions of the Jingse Aphorism Seed Teachers Training. We had in total 98 participation. Then we had 1 college student, Aisa, where we had 112 participants. Then we also had school follow-up visits to the 5 schools after the distribution. Then we have home visits to 13 homes. Actually, there are more than 13 children, but 20% actually of students actually dropped out of school. So, but during our time there, we visited 13. Of course, there's a very special event. There was the one parent-child sports day. And of course, the final day, we had a very wonderful new volunteers training for the locals, where 112 packs, because from all these activities, we start to gather people to come to this new volunteers training, and eventually 100 over came. So I was just thinking how we did all this in 11 days. It is possible. It's almost like doing 1 year of Tzu Chi in just 11 days. Okay, so I want to share the team's footprints. Very initial on, the moment we reached there that morning, we jumped straight into action. You can see our Singapore team, our Penang team, we all gathered together. What were we doing actually? Immediately, because we had done some preparations beforehand, but we really cannot imagine how Nepal is like. There are so many limitations that we were told, but nevertheless, we prepared whatever we could and set it down into business straight away. In fact, Brother Mukunda was there as well, to check with us, to check in with us with the local content as well. So immediately we went into work, and you can see truly the spirit of He Hu Xie, the CEO himself, the team members as well, everybody joining together to practice, to come to consensus, to rehearse, and then we spread ourselves into 2 teams because there's just too many things to cover. So we spread into team A and team B. So you can see here they're practicing immediately practicing the what do you call that, the drama sketch for the distribution later. Okay, so to me, I felt like, it was just amazing because I felt like all of us were chef, and we had actually brought all the ingredients. And because we have continued to practice in the masters, as Brother Joe always say, going to the masters to practice your cooking skill is very important, all right? So that once you're there, you already practice, right? So once you're together, you can just quickly cook up what the dish that suits the locals the best. So I'm really very thankful to the whole entire team for their bringing in their experience, bringing in not just their love, but their experience and all their preparations, you know, and that really make things possible to prepare all these within 2 days. Also, so very quickly, I'm just going to go through. The first school we went to is this, Siddhartha Primary School. We had to go there to recce the place and also to do some preparations. This is a school, it's very basic, as you can see. The building is very basic, but what it has the very vast piece of land. This is the kindy class, year 1, the teacher's room, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and the kitchen. Very basic, kitchen very important, all right, to cook the daily dishes. I want to bring your attention to the principal, the teacher's room. This is the teacher's room. It is so very basic. Teachers don't even have tables, yeah? There are 3 teachers, or 3 plus 1 teacher. One of it is actually the caretaker for this school, yeah? The principal's desk, only the principal has a desk, and there's one sole computer there. So just looking at the room itself really make us feel how lucky our teachers are here in Malaysia to have their own table, their own computers and all that. So anyhow, this is the first thing we met when we arrived. Let me share with you all. What do you call me just now?
Yes,
Suku. Suku and Supo.
together.
Put our palms together. Good morning. The children already knew how to say Suku and Supo. Yeah. So we were so surprised that apparently it was because the earlier batch actually went there 2 weeks earlier and actually met with them and already taught them. So you can see they immediately came up to us and say Suku and Supo. And now when we wanted to enter the classes, what do you call me? We saw them line up their slippers already nicely. So we're thinking, wow, they're really practicing already what they have learned in just a short time. Therefore, I say they're really like super absorbent sponge. And as I said just now, right, they line up their shoes. In fact, from my observation, most of the children, 4 out of 10 of them come without shoes. They're barefooted. As you can see, these are the kindergarten kids, yeah. In the cold winter, can you imagine? Their hands are so cold. Their feet are just as cold. But they are very observant. You don't have to speak to them because they don't even understand what we are saying. But just like this sister, she just put her palms together in concentration. The children just observe, and soon enough, they start to put their palms together. No words required, just gesture. So the learning is very seamless. It's very easy because their mind is really undistracted. So coming to the distribution items, all your love is, is here. These are very basic, but you have much needed here. The bag, all right? The exercise book, sweater, as you can see, some of them come without sweaters. And the very basic that we surprised is actually they don't even have pencils. Pencil, sharpener, they have never seen sharpener, some of them. These are very basic things. But to them, it is so important, yeah? And it helps because the parents then do not have to worry about them. Okay, I'm just going to have to rush through my time here now. All right, so before the distribution, we have to teach them about the etiquettes, like lining up, and also the mannerism, of bowing and saying kan'en. And very quickly, you can see our the local volunteers here, they're helping us. The teachers, they can't really converse in English with us. That's why we needed the local translators. And I'll share a video of what we did. Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah, I am very happy because
So the
what
sketch
you're
just now
doing, how you
to
collect the
actually
donation,
explain the
just
4
looking
missions
all
of
the
Tzu Chi,
dramas
and also the spirit
and
of
your
empathy.
mission, your vision for the society, for the world.
This
It is
principal speaks
amazing.
pretty
This
good
is
English.
wonderful.
Yeah. You can see the joy on their faces, their excitement.
一份爱心物资不是学业成绩的保证，但却能让孩子和家长宽心，不再为上学而烦恼，勇往直前，踏实逐梦。
Okay, so the mayor actually he gave a very touching speech. He said they've been trying to seek help from the government for the past few years, and to no avail to help these children. But he says what the government could not do, Tzu Chi has managed to do it within just a few months. Why? It's because of everybody's love. As Master say, with a loving heart, nothing, truly nothing is impossible. So post-distribution, we have to quickly enter the classes to drive in the message that all these things come from the love of everyone. Therefore, you have to cherish it. That's why Tzu Chi Life Education is about gratitude, respect, and love for everyone and everything. And these are what we also share with the children. So I wanted to share with everybody again this video from Brother Tana. Amazing. You see their happy faces of being finally able to wear shoes. Just the sound of the shoes itself made them so happy. So here I want to share the before and after. Okay, before we met them, before the distribution, it was like this, yeah, when we first saw them. After, look at this after picture. You know, I was saying, wow, now they look like students from a prestigious private school. And true enough, Master commented it the same, commented the same thing the other day during our sharing. You guys can see this. So that's why you see why Master emphasize so much on dignifying our appearances in the Tzu Chi education philosophy, because living skills like this is very important to develop the self-love, the self-worth, and the self-respect of the children. Hope I'm not going too fast. Okay, of course, the most important thing is live practice, yeah, isn't it? And a few days later, when we enter the school, we can see their shoes all lined up so neatly. Of course, you can see the shoes is dirty. Why? Because they walk to school and the road is very dusty, but they did it. And one of them did it better. What did he do? When we commented about the shoes, he immediately took out a piece of cloth and wiped his shoes clean. Therefore, everything that we have said, right? Because we taught them how to clean the shoes, you know. I remember Brother Tan, I was going through with them, you know, and they took it all into heart, bringing even the cloth with them. Therefore, no leaks in their learning. So very quickly, why no leaks? I was thinking, really because in this environment, you can see the children, they are very, very pure. Why am I saying it's pure? Because the moment you just say namaste to them, they will smile at you. Look at their beautiful smile. Children on the street, children in the school, children doing housework, children just, you know, just the children. And I want to bring to you these wonderful lyrics from the song that we sing to all of them. This is a very famous local song by one of, I think one of very famous Nepalese nun. It says, a flower sees the world as flowers, right? Just like a Buddha heart sees all as Buddhas, and a thorn will see the world as thorns. Therefore, these children, they are very pure. Mind you, they don't have internet and all that, and handphones and all that. Probably that's one of the reasons why there's no distraction. So throughout our time there, we notice not just the children are very easy to teach, even the teenagers, so easy to teach. At this school, the secondary school, we notice that it's so dirty. One thing is that there's no municipal council there that to take in to collect rubbish daily. So rubbish is either burned or just thrown on the floor. Hopefully they'll disappear by themselves. Okay, but our brothers and sisters are so mindful, always observing for teachable moments. And then when they went in, they started to bend down and collect the rubbish. And true enough, the children started to follow. And by just within minutes, the whole school ground cleaned up already. So education, is it important? Truly is very important, because they only need guidance. It's just like the water, strip down and they just fully absorb everything. Not just the teenagers, even the teachers, you know, so amazing. Sister Suat will share more about this. This 2 training program really was very, very fruitful. In fact, one of the teachers or principal of one of the college, he says, today's program, wake up the minds of teachers. Another principal says that what we are doing, bring in new energy into his body, he says. So you can imagine the level of like awakening, you know, awakening. Yeah, Master say we wake up every morning, but does our mind wake up? Are we awakened? Does body starts to sprout in our mind? So this is the college students. So we try to encourage them to join as volunteers through Tzu Ching. And one of the student, his name is Manoj. Of course, we were sharing about the principle of infinite meanings, yeah, where if we kindle our light, you know, to others, eventually the whole world will shine brightly. You know, after the session, after the experiential session, he came to me in his limited English. He even hold the handphone to me. He said, Shiku, when we light other people's light, our light will not become lesser. So truly, he has received the principle of the infinite meanings himself. So I feel very hopeful for all these. And our brother Ram Bali, you know, he really loves Master's Jingse aphorism. And he invited us all, you know, to the college to do the ISA. And that's where we launched Master's Chenye's Jingse aphorism. And do you know where he placed his Jingse aphorism? He placed it right below his, you know, God. He said he loves Master's teaching so much, and he wants to place it there so that he can be reminded. Maybe Brother Tan can actually 补充 later on, because I wasn't there in this shot, but I saw his actually what he said about Master's Jingse aphorism. But anyhow, if you look at the Jingse aphorism that was printed, so we're very grateful that the long-term team, they're so mindful. They printed the Nepali version, the English version, and the Chinese with Hanyi Pinyin, because they know Master's heart. Their Master hope that they will understand, eventually learn Chinese, because humanistic culture is must be brought in using the Chinese language. Yeah, so very grateful. Yeah. So anyhow, I would like to maybe end with this video. This is one of the Muslim schools that we went to, a madrasa. There are 1,200 children here. I'm going to reduce the volume. There are 1,200 children here. Every day, the classrooms are very limited. So every day, the children would their classroom is right under the sky, under the tree, and the earth is their canvas. They come to school. Are they getting education? You can see that what they like to draw. They love to draw flowers. They love to draw hearts. I continue to take this video because I'm just looking at what are they doing. And you can see the moment you have eye contact with them, they will smile at you. So beautiful. And they continue to be engrossed with their drawing. Actually, eventually, I started to tear up because I started to think, where's the future of these children? And in this madrasa, they don't teach the Nepali language. They only use Arabic. Why? We were unable to enter this school, post the distribution, to teach them about our living education and life education. But we hope with this affinity, the following teams that enter Lumbini will be able to spread the seeds of Bodhi in this school. I want to share the lunchtime in this school. This is how they eat every day. In most of the schools, in all the schools, in fact, they don't use bowls, yeah, they use paper. That's why Master said we must teach them. It's so important. So where is the hope of the children? As Master says, children are the hope of the parents, right? And the hope of children lies in education. That is why Master says that through education, we hope to transform Nepal. And hope is that we can see these seeds of hope from each of the affinity of Tzu Chi, from the earthquake, from the flood, from the COVID. You know, we have all these Tongren, our staff in Tzu Chi. All of them come from all this affinity. And they're all very young. Average age, not more than 30. Our brother Unish from the earthquake. Our sister Kriti from the flood. Our sister Subani from Taling Tzu Chi Hospital. And our brother Tulsi from Penang. He came to work in Malaysia. So it's truly amazing. And of course, our Purnas of the modern day Purnas, our brother Raymond, our brother CEO, and our CEO team, you know, brother Dr. Tang and brother I can't remember, sorry, the CEO of Singapore, Vice CEO of Singapore. So they are all there and they will lead all these locals, yeah. And therefore, I remember the one of the sessions, Mr. McDonald, where Ananda say he is the lone standing tree in the forest, and Venerable Ananda say he will choose to enter Parinirvana. But you know what? I felt that the Bodhi forest will rise again in Lumbini, because all these seeds, you can see these young volunteers, they have come. They are all accepted the teachings. They are all upholding the teachings very gratefully, because Master has told us the Bodhi trees, the forest of Bodhi trees flourishes all from one root. And that is the root of Bodhi, the root of awakening, which all of us share with the Buddha. So therefore, I'd like to end my sharing, and I would invite our sister Suat Kheng to come and share with us her wonderful experience from the two the teachers training and also the sports day. Please welcome Sister Suat Kheng.
Our beloved masters, both Shifu and all Tzu Chi brothers and sisters, a very good morning to all of you. Today, as Sister Stephanie has shared with us, our education team, our recent trip, we did a lot. It was considered a very fruitful journey. But today I'm only going to touch on the teachers training on the teaching of Ching aphorisms. As all of us know that our master's wish is for us to bring Buddhism back to Nepal, where it first came from. And the master also said, the society's hope lies in education, and the children's hope, the society's hope lies in the children, and the children's hope lies in education. And so our education team went in, and we not only provided for the schools in general, we also try to introduce the teaching of Ching aphorisms in particular. And that is why we had this teachers training for the teaching of Ching aphorisms. So you look at this building. This is called the Lumbini Buddhist University. At first, this training supposed to be held in our office, but then the enrollment was became bigger and bigger that the office is not big enough. So we have to move to this university. And we are so fortunate that we are given the place. We can use the place for free. And even during our fast, in that morning, our training is in the afternoon, but we went in the mid-morning. And when we went there, the first batch of volunteers went there. We were assisted by the principal of the university and the workers to help to set up. And as in all Tzu Chi branches, all our activities, we adhere strictly to our Tzu Chi style or our way of mannerism. So we first welcome the participants to a ice-breaking corner where they can draw the Ching aphorisms for them to start conversation or to talk about what the message has brought. Okay, and then our second batch of volunteers, after the school distribution in the morning, they arrived in the university, took their packed lunch, and then started going to their respective responsibilities. And you can see here our usherers usher the participants to their seats in an orderly manner. So we try to, in all, from beginning to end, we try to show them our Tzu Chi mannerism, okay? And one of the participants, as Sister Stephanie has mentioned just now, is the principal of the Kudabaga Teachers College. And he has heard so much about the Ching aphorisms, and so he enrolled himself to be one of the participants hoping to learn about master's education philosophy. And at the beginning, we had this energizer. It's a song and dance called the Hello Hello. And this is a very popular and powerful energizer. The participants were encouraged to go upstage and dance together. And this actually has brought us all participants and volunteers all together. And that set the mood for our more serious topic later, like when we shared about Tzu Chi, about masters, about the origin of Qing's aphorisms, and volunteers sharing on their growth as volunteers. Okay, and as the picture shows here, all the education teams, we try to chip in to do whatever part we are capable of and try to make this a meaningful and successful training. Okay, and then you can see from here, the participants are divided into small groups. So we had small group games, small group discussion, and with our Tui Fu, with our volunteer as Tui Fu, and also the local volunteer as the translator. And that's how we coordinated all our efforts together. Okay, and over here, special mention must be given to this Sister Stephanie, who is the MC for the day and also the speaker for the day. Her lively and creative approach has brought so much laughter to our training session. Okay, and you look at this picture here, when one of the participants had to sing a Nepali song, and after she lost the game, Sister Stephanie, very quickly, she became the background dancer. And immediately, the other volunteer also joined in. So this, it works so well that as though we had pre-planned this, but no, actually, this is just an impromptu thing. But then you can see that our volunteers are all one-minded, all just wanted to see this a success. So we chip in whenever we can to make this as lively, as meaningful as possible for the participants. And from the enthusiasm shown in their participants, we know that we had hit the right button. Okay? And then at the end of the session, we gave everyone a souvenir, the Qing's aphorism as souvenir, and also the 5-grain drinks, which is prepared by the Singapore team. So considerate of them. Okay, they actually made it just the night before. So for giving their sleep, they have to sleep a bit later just to get this souvenir ready. Okay, and so at the end we had 112 of us, the participant. We took a picture together. Okay, but then this is not the end of the story. Okay, this principal, the Mr. Rambali, he was so impressed with the training that he invited us to go back to his college to spread our Tzu Chi education to his trainee students. And actually, this is not in our plan, but then we how would I say, we immediately, when Brother Chi Fong told us about it, all of us just accepted it. And 3 days later, we are back in the college. In the midst of the thick mist, we started out and we went to the college. And this time we changed a little bit of our program because the participants are trainee teachers. And so we get our Su Ching to talk about Su Ching organization, and also the local volunteers to share about why they become volunteers why and their growth. Okay, and then because the classroom, we conducted, you look at the picture, you can see that we conducted the theory part in the classroom. But this is actually, the classroom is very small, but it is already the biggest classroom in the college. So we know that we cannot conduct group activities in that room. So we had to look for a suitable place outside in the badminton court. And our brother Guoji, he's very 用心. So in the big mess, he tried to set up the place for our games later. Okay, and looking at the pictures here, so we had small group discussion about Ching's aphorism. We also had games. So all of them had a lot of fun. Okay, you can only know how much fun it is if you are there. Okay, okay. Then at the end, we do not stop there. We let the Tui Fu bring the students back to the class, and then we paste the Ching's aphorism in their classroom. And then we let our Tui Fu give them some souvenirs, and at the same time, invited them to become volunteers. And we are so happy that 46 of them has actually made the wish to become our Tzu Ching. Okay, and as Sister Stephanie has mentioned just now, the principal of the college, he was the most happy when the Ching's aphorism was pasted on the wall in his room, and he actually asked us to take the photograph for him. And looking at the smile, you can know that it is as though he has got something that no one had. You know, something to him, it is something very precious. Okay, and then at the end we had a group photo, and the success of this day, of that trip, Isa Day, actually gave us a lot of encouragement. So later on, when we went back to school for the school distribution, we seized every opportunity, talked to the teachers, and later on also, we also pasted Ching's aphorisms in their classrooms. Okay, this is Brother Chi Fong. He actually, he is the one that who seized every opportunity and arranged for all our trips. Okay, so this is about the teachers training. Now I would like to share with you about the 冬至运动会, because it falls on our winter solstice day. Okay, so actually, you know, what is this sports day got to do with education? Actually, this idea, I think it comes from Brother Chi Fong, because he must be after providing a lot of distribution to the school, he was still in his mind, he is thinking of what he can do to bring the parents to be involved with the child's education. And so when he heard that one of us is a sports experts, and that he really he immediately seized the opportunity to make this come true. And Sister Chi Zhan, our specialist in sports, she also immediately accepted the invitation and led us to make this dream come true. So we set out to prepare all the items, because the school has nothing. So we have to prepare everything on our own. The items for the games, we have to collect the mineral bottles, and also the making balls from the plastic sheets we find from the office. A lot of things we find from the office because of the goods items distribution. There's a lot of unused items, so we try to make use of them. And then we also need the flags to make the event more colorful. So we look for the 4 colors, and then have the flag sewn that very night. And then with the flag without the pole, so you look at the the stick here. This is also done at the last minute. We look at the wooden stick and try to smoothen it, and then that become our flagpole and so on. So all of us chip in to help, all very last moment, but we were ready the day itself. Okay, so when we went there, we find that okay, the parents also turn up, and seeing that we are so busy, the parents also chip in to help. And because our track for playing is full of debris, small stones, and also the dry and tall grasses, so they help us to pull out. And so this is the end after we have prepared the place for our telematch. Then it was also very heart thrilling to see that we have the colorful tracks, we have the flags and the souvenirs and trophies all set up ready for the sports day. I believe that the parents and the children, this is something that they had never seen before. Okay, even the headmaster was surprised. He said that normally the parents seldom come, he seldom appear in school during winter, and he was very happy to see that so many parents turned up. Okay, and you can see that, and we also insisted that parents and children must hold their hands together. So this is a very touching picture. Parents and children, we make sure they hold hands together, and when they are ready, so this is the time they are going to march in smartly into the field. And I had a video here, but I don't think, can you all hear it?
Sister, it's okay, we can see the video. Wonderful. Immediate rehearsal, immediate application. Oh, Sister Tzu Chi is here as well.
So you can see that this one has no rehearsal, Sister Tzu Chi is here with us also. You see CZ, that is Sister Tzu Chi. She is with us today, this morning. Okay, so you see that was as though we had rehearsed it. Actually, no, we did it. But then with our volunteers leading in front, or even some demonstrated beside them. So the children are very quick, like the Sister Stephanie has said, very super absorbent sponges. Whatever you do, they just follow. Okay, and then the games also. Thank for Sister Tzu Chi. She had specially designed all these games with parent and children in pairs. Okay, for the purpose of to bond, to bridge them together, to foster a better relationship between parent and children, and hoping that through these games they realized their importance of their company in their children's education. Okay, and this is around the end. Even the headmaster of the school has also learned to 合掌了. Although he's a Muslim. Okay, and okay, so I'm so grateful that at the end all has gone well as planned, and this will not happen without all the brothers and sisters and everyone's cooperation. A very big thank you to all. This is the end of my sharing. Thank you for listening.
感恩 Sister Suat Kheng. She's also my roommate, and both of us got COVID after we came back from Nepal. But now I'd like to invite our leader from team, our brother Fong from Singapore, to share with us the wondrous lesson plan that the Singapore team designed. Cảm ơn brother Koki.
Right. Good morning. Thank you, Sister Stephanie. Good morning to my beloved master, about Shifu and Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. Good morning to a very good morning to all of you. Give me a minute. I'd like to share my slides. Here we go. Can you see?
Okay, we can see your slide, brother. We can.
All right. Give me a minute.
Continue,
okay. Okay. So, very good morning. So, here is the picture to show, to share with you all. All right. We have this education mission, and probably you can see there's a large group of students. In fact, this is one of the biggest distribution events that we have in Lumbini. The school is Parampo. They have about 692 students on that day to receive the bags. Yeah, all right. So now I would like to bring you to, before we actually embark on this mission, okay, we have our Singapore team led by our brother Zhao Yun. I think he's also online. In fact, all our members today, I think they are all in the Zoom meeting with us. And we have started to have some brainstorming of how actually we are able to bring these teaching lessons to the students. And after that, after some discussion, and we come to a conclusion that we think that 孩子的健康必须从个人的卫生饮食习惯开始. That means a child health must begin with personal hygiene and good eating habits. Right. So with this direction, actually we started to do some preparation, but we realized that we actually have some language barriers because we don't speak Nepali or even or their local dialect, and they can't really understand. I think we believe unlikely they were able to understand English as well. So we start to think of, instead of sharing in words, why don't we design some games for them? So we come up with some puzzles game, memory flip cards, okay, and also using a simple science experiments to teach them understand the importance of personal hygiene, right? Okay, so but actually at the time we really have very limited time to do preparation, so we started to, especially with just a few of us. So we started to send out messages to our committee to invite friends or volunteers to help. And understanding, knowing that we are going to this Nepal, Lumbini, of this education mission, many responded, especially from our Qingziban families, our Tzu Ching, our Dai Mama, and volunteers from the committees. Okay, and just within the few, you can see the pictures here. We have very young children, and some teachers, volunteers are helping. Okay, and even the Thai Mama groups, they actually gather the volunteers and come up with some instructions. Okay, to how to step by steps and to share how to carry out the works. Okay, from here actually we. It really bring back to what Master Cheng Yen always share with us is, it's really Hong Fa Li Shen, in spreading Dharma to benefits life. Dharma learning. Yeah, they're really putting all efforts, okay, to make things happen. And thankful to all the volunteers, okay, in just a few, in just 1 week, okay, we actually managed to complete 14 sets of puzzles and 28 sets of flip cards. Okay, and they are sending all this big love to the Lumbini children. All right, these are some of the pictures taken for the works that they have completed, done. Yeah. Okay, the 7 steps of washing, the proper way of washing hands. Okay, and also how to wash a bowl. But unfortunately, because at first we thought that they were using bowl to wash to contain their food, but later realized in real life they're actually using paper use paper to receive their food. So, and in fact, we plan to distribute bowls to them, but due to time, they are unable to receive it in time. So we'll leave all this in Lumbini office so that the subsequent teams, they can use it, okay, in the subsequent visits to the schools, right? And we also share experiments, simple experiments, how to get rid of germs from hands, okay, and the importance of it by using some simple, just using water, black peppers, which to represent germs, and hand soap or detergent. All right, I would like to share with you a simple video. This video was taken thanks to one of our Lumbini local volunteer. Okay, taken this picture video. Okay, simply we pour some water into a bowl, and then we add some black peppers onto the spread onto the water. Then we stick a finger into the water, and then we realize that the pepper representing germs actually stick onto the fingers. Then next moment, we actually use another fingers to apply some hand soap powder. Then you can see that it actually start to spread. So this is to show them, okay, the importance of by using soap, actually you can wash away germs. And we, in the teaching session in Lumbini, we actually let the teachers to experience this. During the lessons, actually, we are teaching them the 5 steps of Jing's aphorism, 5 steps of teaching methods. And one of the methods is experience sessions, and we're using these puzzles and these matching games, flip card, for them to understand, okay, during the lessons. All right, we have a video here.
In one finger dip in. All the fingers, can you show your group of friends what is it there? Okay, put the soap on your hand. Then you dip onto the water. See what happens.
胡椒粉末代表细菌和病毒，当手指上的肥皂碰到水面，即可将病菌抛得远远。
All right. So by simple experiment, they can understand it very clearly, the concept and the importance of using detergents or hand soap to wash the hand. Okay. In fact, our volunteers, before we actually go into the school, okay, they actually do a practice. Okay, and so that we really know the 7 steps, the proper 7 steps of washing hands before we actually teaching the students. We actually, due to limited of time, we are only able to get to 2 schools. There's Gautama Buddha schools and the Siddhartha schools to show them. Okay, the next a few minutes, I want to share with you some of these events. Okay, take place. They're learning through these games and then how they enjoy it. Okay, here you can see our volunteer is guiding the students, okay, to practice, okay, and understand. Of course, we have translator at the side, okay, to explain to them, okay, the importance of this washing of hand with detergents and hand soap. Okay, and you can see that they are smiling and they really enjoy this. Okay, and these are the games that we bring to them, and the students really enjoy it so much. All right. You can see from their face, they're smiling, and then they are working together as a team, okay, and have a very enjoyable sessions. Okay, I'd like to show you a video here. Okay, at first they take quite a bit of time to understand how to play, because to them this is something new to them. Yeah, but they never give up. Okay.
他们一定做得到的，2片内，不用给他们自己去试。蹬。
Ah, yes. Keep turn. Ah.
Yeah, actually they are so happy when they're completing their games. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, in fact, we find that they are really very you can see that they. Okay, they are really practice, not just playing. In fact, they are really practicing what they have seen on the pictures, and then they do it immediately. Okay, and this is another student to demonstrate.
Reverse.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, on the day we went to Sidada Secondary School, I think it's a really good timing. We went there just before lunch. So, actually the teachers and principal is telling us that they're about time to have their lunch. Then we suggest, why not we just bring the students and then really get them to practice, okay, into action, right? And do the hand washing, and we request the principal for some soup. And in fact, we have brought our own, yeah, but we also requested that and get some pills. And immediately the principal get everything ready for us. Yeah. And in fact, they are already prepared. We saw that actually they have using a new bought soup and standby for this event. Okay, and here you can see there's another video to show the students. Okay.
Good. No, like this. Good. Like this. No. And this one? Yes. Okay, the last one. Very good.
Okay.
Very good. You remember it. Wow. 你们有成绩哦！他们是感恩师傅哦。那么感恩师傅，你们有成绩了 ，OK。
Okay, but we can hear the sisters has been sharing with us that in fact, yeah, the students are so taught. They are really learn what we taught them. Okay, and they are also showing respect and gratitude. Okay, to the siku and sipo. Okay, after washing and when they do the practice with them, they will express their thankfulness to us. And later we realize that just now that exercise is doing it before lunch, but after their meal, we realize that they also gather at the washing point, at the water point, and they also do their washing of hands and rinsing their mouths after their meal. So this is really they really practice it in their life, and they listen to heart, right? Here I would like to share one of these my experience in one of the distribution event. Okay, we went to this Gautama primary school. Okay, in fact, after the distribution events, we went into the class, all right, and we started to sort out some of the distribution and teaching the students, okay, how to take care of the things that given to them. Okay, while we are in the class, okay, one of the students start to raise his hand and then start to talk to me. Okay, but I couldn't understand what he's trying to say. Okay, and he came forward and again to try to tell me something, but I couldn't understand. And other students get a commotion, and then they also start trying to explain to me, but still I can't understand. But I start to hear that they say chu chu chu. So I'm wondering what does that mean. Then later his hand is holding a ruler. Then I start to understand that, okay, actually he found there in the bag, okay, in the package, there are one extra ruler. They have actually 2 rulers found in the bag. So he wanted to return to us. From this simple and event, we realized that actually there are people, this young boy is so pure and honest. Okay, even they are not rich. Okay, in fact they are rather poor. okay, but they will not have this tansing, they will not ask for things that extra, okay, they just, okay, whatever they are entitled, they will just take it, okay, anything extra, they will just return. So we are actually very touched by the boy for his action, right? And this brings up to one of the Jingsi aphorism that, okay, love through power comes from its purity. And Tanchun, their really heart is very Tanchun. And that's how they love of this power, right? Okay. And here, before we ending, I would like to share one of the Jingsi aphorism with all. I mean, through all this 13 days of mission event, we really had to, I mean, myself, I really feel that I'm being blessed, okay, and I believe all our brothers and sisters who went over for the event of the mission, they share the same thoughts, okay. So we have to 知福, 惜福, 再造福, and we count on our blessing and cherish what that we have and so more blessings, okay. Okay, in the end, I would like to thanks, okay, to all of you, all the brothers and sisters for listening, all right, and namaste. Thank you very much. Cảm ơn
so much, Brother Koki, for the most touching sharing. Actually, you can see so many hearts are gathered for Nepal even before the mission started. So truly, Master say this path is paved with love and compassion. Everybody's hearts come together, you know, is used to pave this path in Lumbini, Nepal. And finally, we are very grateful to the Singapore team for their sharing. And finally, to end, we would like to invite Brother Sipo, or we call him Sipo, Brother Sipo, to share with us his personal insights during this journey. Please welcome Brother Sipo.
Cảm ơn Stephanie. Good morning to our beloved Master, Abot Sifu, and Tzu Chi, brothers and sisters. A very good morning to all of you. After listening to the three sharers, it really brought these memorable moments where we are at Lumbini for 2 weeks. Anyway, due to the short of time, I would try go straight into my topic. Okay, let me share my this PPT PowerPoint. Let me see how can I share. All right. Okay, can you see this my PowerPoint?
Yes, we can see your PowerPoint already, brother.
Sure.
Please continue.
Okay, so I will share on my personal observation and the footprints we have in Lumbini. All right. Okay. In fact, before we embarked onto Lumbini, we already from the Ta'ai, you know, the programs and some pictures, we know what to expect. But anyway, when we go there in person, you really, when you see the scenes, feel it personally, you really impress you and, you know, really give you even more impression of what you see. So every day, actually, we started almost every day about 7:30 is how travel. Sometimes the weather is good. Sometimes you can see it's rather cold, right? And then just now, I think Stephanie have shown you the house we see in the countryside, but in the city also you can see the houses of the poor. You can see really a big contrast to what we have in our modern cities. And then in the school also, you can see some schools don't even have proper tables and chairs. And you look at on the right side, you know, just now also you have seen, you know, most of students come to school in slippers or even barefooted, right? And then, you know, all the school, even household, they don't have tap waters, like what we have. They pump water from the ground and then to do all the washing, you know, all right. And then also most unforgettable is you see when we see the school provide them with lunch, but they don't even have bowl. They use paper to hold the rice given to them. All right. So all these scenes, you really touch our hearts. Again, you really as what just now Coach had mentioned, we must count our blessing for what all we have, right, in our own countries, right? And then as Master Chen Yan say, we should not just care for ourselves. We should walk into the mass and help others, right? And then for that, our brother Chi Fong have arranged for home visits and also visit to dropout families. All right, this picture show you actually, with our company of our local volunteers and also the long-term stays of volunteers there, we managed to visit some of the families. This scene show actually we went to a dropout family, and actually the student was maybe went out to work, so we talked to the parents, the mothers, tried to persuade the student to come back to school. Of course, some are successful, some may not be successful, but anyway, you look at the background, this is actually the volunteers who do interpreting, and these are teachers who brought us to this family because they are very close-knitted societies, the community. So the teachers almost know every student, where they live, where their background, and also they brought us to this family, all right? And also we have home visits, all right? So of course we visit a few family, but most impressed me is this family where, in this picture you can see actually we visited this visually impaired housewife by the name of Sarada. Actually she have already 2 children, but now you look at his stomach, is actually expecting the 3rd child. And the background here is the husband, who's also a bit mentally impaired. All right. And then on the right side, you can see actually is the grandmother, the mother-in-law of this blind woman, and you can see the child hugging. You guess who is this child? I think if you all have watched Ta Ai programs where Master have mentioned this child a few times. Actually, he is the elder son of these families, all right? But when the first Tzu Chi volunteers went to their home, we found that he, in fact, crawl on the floor. He's so weak, he can't even stand. So our in charge in Lumbini, the long-term staying there, Dr. Tang, decided to help provide medical treatment and bring him to see doctors. And now you can see actually after the treatment, he can stand up and hug the grandmothers. You can see, we know when we went there, this Sarada is really waiting outside, as though he already know we want to visit them. In fact, we did not, because there is no telephone communication there. So we just dropped by and he was there. And then on the right side, you can see the mother-in-laws or the grandmother of these children, feeding the child. If you look closely, you find that they the rice is so plain, you don't have ingredients. And then you look closely, you find the flies, crawling on the rice. So in fact, they are so poor, Tzu Chi decided to provide them these materials, supplies to them every month, all right? And in fact, the family have another daughters, all right, known by the name of Aniska. When we found this family, in fact, the family was so poor that they cannot afford to send her to schools. In fact, don't throw away, there's a private school, but the public school are free, but it's so far away from their home. So the only way to send her is to go to this private school, but they cannot afford. So Tzu Chi also Tzu Chi Lumbini decided to provide her, so pay for her school fees. Also, you see now he's dressed so smartly in the uniform and the bag and the shoes, right? So he's so happily, when we arrived at their home, he was still in the school, but not long after that, he came back very cheerfully, right? And then you see our sister was talking to her. All right, so Master say education is the only hope to turn over their life. So hopefully, this is the only hope for the family. Hopefully, after having proper education, you will have a better life in the future, right? And more touching is when, before we left, before we say goodbye, and then the Sarada brought out a packet of rice and hand over to our Sijie, Chimin Sijie. And he so sincerely hand it over. Then it turned out that actually before when Tzu Chi, Lumbini provide support to them, also actually brought back the Tzu Chi Renren, the culture to them, and telling them that helping others is not actually the privilege of the rich people. Okay, everybody can help. And also tell them probably the story of Burma villagers. They although they don't have money, they can contribute palm full of rice every day when you cook. So I think this has touched her, and then she really practiced it. And actually every day she will save a fistful, a handful of rice. And then every month when our volunteers visit their family, she will bring out this packet of a few kilogram of rice and give to Tzu Chi, so that Tzu Chi can help more families. And you can see our Tzu Chi very respectfully receive the donation. All right. So this really touched my heart when you see this, and whenever people ask me what is the most memorable moment in Lumbini, I always can remember this picture always come back to my mind. All right. So before I end my presentation, I'd just like to show you this. Just now we mentioned on the Dongzhi, we have actually a gathering to celebrate. In fact, after the Dongzhi, the second day we still have training, but after that we have rushed back to Singapore to Kathmandu. So on the 22nd, we celebrate Dongzhi. At the same time, we have passing of this torch ceremony. So it's just hopefully we can pass on the light of love to Lumbini, and then we vow to sow the seeds of Tzu Chi in Lumbini. And Master say everybody is dispensable. So hopefully every one of us in Tzu Chi will seize the opportunity when we are invited to go to Lumbini to contribute. Okay, that's the end of my sharing. Go back to Stephanie.
Cảm ơn Brother Supo for the most heartfelt sharing. Indeed, I think after seeing this, hopefully from the sharing, I feel that there's so much that is left unsaid actually throughout this 11 days of activities. And hopefully more and more of the team will be able to share, because there are many, many more very touching stories that we are unable to share with everybody today. But yet, I just want to assure everybody that every step of the way that we are in Nepal, I just felt that every step that we take, a little lotus is actually blooming. So very hopeful, that all the love, all the support from everybody, and the guidance from Master, and also the locals' purity, this land will truly flourish. And Master's wishes to bring right Dharma back to Buddha's homeland will definitely come true one day. So with that, cảm ơn to all the brothers and sisters who are here with us today for your kind listening, and to the team for your wonderful sharing. I will pass the mic back to Sister Su Ching. Cảm ơn.
Cảm ơn. Awesome education team. The 4 rep from this recent Lumbini 11 days education mission, sending love to our Lumbini families. Indeed, these 11 days, we truly, for those I think who didn't hear about 11 days, they may think this team have been there maybe for a year, seeing the activities from the school, sports day, even home visits, even training the teachers. Well, it's really like a year kind of work, and we thought a lot of preparations are made, but like the sister said, it's on the spot. And our Singapore, we can feel the love from our Singapore families. Those who couldn't join, but through I think sending loves, those equipments, items, stationaries, they can send love to this Lumbini. Very grateful to this team for even though we can't be there, but we feel great rejoicing. And just like all of you, I'm sure those listeners, we are transported to Lumbini, and may all of us be able to help masters to fulfill these missions. To bring back the Zhenfa, the real Dharma to this land. Okay, maybe let us seize the opportunity and welcome those, also almost welcome those at Hualien listening now. Let's maybe we open the video and take a nice group picture before we move on to the next session. Okay, how? Okay, Sister Wai will help us take
Maybe
photo.
we can give to put a gallery view first. Yeah, gallery view. Okay.
Gallery view.
Okay.
Let us take one group picture. Sister Wai, let us know once the picture is taken, then we can move on to the next session. Wow, today it's really like all this, I'm sure, stored in the not only the 8 consciousness, will move to the pure 9 consciousness. Really pure. 好，祝福大家好。Okay, as we are taking the photo, let us let me introduce the next sharer, Brother Christopher Yang. I think those in Tzu Chi long enough would have followed and know this Brother Christopher, who joined Tzu Chi since very young age. And today will be his 3rd time sharing on this platform. And Brother Christopher, we know he's very busy. He has since returned to his birthplace in US. Before that, I think we all know that he went back for Taiwan for his certification. So he's a certified commissioner as of now. So Brother Christopher is resuming his study. Actually today he can't make it, but he is very mindful and Yong-Sing, and he wished to share his thoughts with everyone. He has made a recording with us. Actually he recorded, later I found out, in a room, because the wall is very thin. So Brother Christopher speak quite softly. Hopefully, okay, everyone can hear it, but no worry. Brother Christopher even typed all his speeches and send it over. After this session, we will share with all of you also. Okay, how? Okay, I think okay, Sister Lily, we can start the recording. Brothers and sisters, for joining and supporting this platform.
JM Masters of the Abode, brothers and sisters, thank you, Gan, for this opportunity to learn from you. I actually have wonderful memories of the first time that I joined the Dharma and English meetings. That was more than 10 years ago, and it was through the invitation of Su Ching Sibu when I joined this meeting through Zoom. And at the time, virtual meetings weren't very popular, but to see the brothers and sisters connect online from all different parts of this world was just such a marvelous and very new experience for me. I'm very grateful because although we live thousands of miles from each other, in Tzu Chi, neither distance nor time becomes an obstacle. Instead, this time, which brings a lot of change, sometimes positive or negative change, in Tzu Chi, this time becomes a source of hope. It brings change, but with compassion and love, that change is positive and beautiful. Similarly, our separation in space gives us an opportunity to see and care for those in need who live in very different parts of the world and who have very different backgrounds and needs. But we're still in the same path, learning the Bodhisattva way of practice. I know that I often fall into a trap of thinking of time and space as barriers. But people from long ago and very far away lands can understand the same compassion and love that we experience today. And this realization gives me a great deal of hope. It also reminds me of the Buddha's life. And although there were more than 90 different religious beliefs in India at the time, and not even to mention an uncountable number of different perspectives and opinions and amongst all these people in India at the time. And that was a common path that all could understand. It was the search for the origin of suffering and the pursuit to alleviate this suffering. There's a saying that I often hear, which is that life is like a show and the show mirrors our lives. And indeed, life is just like a script. It has acts occurring right before our eyes in real time. But in Tzu Chi, I learned that before I joined Tzu Chi, I was basically like an audience, like a member of the audience of the show. I was receiving the storyline of this script and act of life, but I was not able to proactively change any of it. And what the Buddha proved was that one could change that storyline, not with these supernatural powers, but with love and compassion. And in the past, I thought that having courage would be enough to change the story and script of life. And I thought that the courage was necessary to fight what would otherwise seem to be reality. I would then look at the negatives of life and I would try to point out each and every one of them and mention them very loudly to others and attempt to fix them. But the Master and the Buddha have always taken a different approach. They focus on adding good to this world. And in the process of adding good, they're turning all of this unhappiness we see into enlightening. And this enlightening is this wonderful ability to let go and see the opportunities for kindness and compassion in this world. What I see in the Master and the Buddha is their practice of humility, of persistence, of compassion, touching others and giving others the chance to see the world from a very new perspective. The Master once said that our Buddhist practice isn't for us to show others, but to practice in real life so that others can very naturally feel and experience it. And this is precisely the mission of culture in Tzu Chi. The mission of culture has taught me that Tzu Chi people have refined their actions through simple things like learning to use their own smile, being very courteous and compassionate and thoughtful of others, and using kind words to encourage others. Using these very simple actions to make the charity, medicine, and education missions of Tzu Chi very unique. People don't just receive help from these three missions, but they also see the volunteers' mindful way of living and approaching the most challenging problems that they face in their lives. And this touches the people that Tzu Chi helps. It changes their lives. It makes them receive this change in the mind, which is even more powerful than any material or financial help that any organization can provide. When I first joined Tzu Chi, this Tzu Chi culture was very touching to me. I witnessed how differently Tzu Chi people handled difficult situations, even without their uniforms on. The compassion and the care for others that Tzu Chi people showed me demonstrated the true meaning of selflessness, and they didn't have to explain to me what selflessness meant. I could just feel it and understand it through their actions. It reminds me of a talk by this senior editor of the Atlantic News organization, Derek Thompson, who analyzed some of the most successful products and designs and noted that they followed this common pattern of being familiar to most people, but adding a little bit of something that's surprising. Just like products like the iPhone and things that are familiar, but also different and interesting. What moves me about Tzu Chi people is that they take the most familiar actions and decisions in this world and approach it with an open heart, which brings a new perspective. After all, love and care is formless, it's a concept, but in Tzu Chi people's actions, love and care becomes something that is concrete and believable, something that people can see. The Master once mentioned to me that I needed to open and broaden my heart. I didn't understand why, but in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, the Master's explanation of a sentence in the sutra was deeply moving to me and explained to me what broadening, opening the heart meant. The sentence goes as follows: not square, nor round, nor short, or long. And at first I thought this phrase seemed to contradict itself, but I later realized that this phrase was teaching me to let go and open my heart. For example, a square hole refers to accept things that are square shaped. A round hole refers to accept round objects, and my perspectives were like these holes, rejecting certain people who did not think alike, but accepting others with whom I agreed. But with a heart and a view of the world that is not square, nor round, nor short or long, this view is so much broader. It gives us an opportunity to see this world in a broader field of view and be able to take care of more people. And people with their own strong views will also feel moved by this open heart and learn to open their own hearts in the process as well. In this world, there are many courageous people. I know that I've always wanted to be one, but courageousness, I realized, was not enough. For example, I'd sometimes find myself having difficulty holding back anger because I want to see immediate change originating from all of the efforts that I have put into some work. I remember a story, however, about how the Master approaches Tzu Chi's 4 missions in a different way. When the Master was building the Tzu Chi hospital in one of the poorest areas of Hualien, she experienced many people's distrust or even initial ridicule of her dream. She didn't think it was possible to build this hospital and maintain it. Even despite making the hospital a reality after so much effort, during a hospital meeting one day, Master was still asked to leave a medical meeting because some others didn't view her as having medical experience. This story breaks my heart. The Master is the medical doctor for so many people's heart and physical body's health because of her persistence, of her ability to bring so many doctors from across Taiwan into some of the poorest areas of the country. But the Master was willing to endure others' strong views, even ridicule, for the sake of the mission of medicine. And the Master doesn't pursue a status of being a hero for others. Instead, she's always looking to make all other people heroes for this world. This is courageousness, but not just courageousness alone. It's a true practice of Buddhism, a truly open heart. There was a time when the Master saw a photo in Hualien and its mountains. I only saw it as a picture of a mountain with a few clouds and several buildings, but the Master deeply appreciated this photo and she was moved. I think she likely remembered the many times she passed the mountain on the way home from Hualien and on the way from home on pilgrimages. She remembers the origin of Tzu Chi, that one compassion that has extended to over 120 countries today. And Tzu Chi is big, but its continuation relies on you and me never forgetting its origin. It's like what the Sutra of infinite meanings is teaching disciples that the infinite meanings originate from one, the one true tenet, the one true meaning of what the Buddha has experienced in this world. Similarly, Tzu Chi started from one, and that's the one compassion, one selflessness, one determination. The master once mentioned that one thought lasts one life. And this is precisely what the master has done. There are many obstacles, moments that feel like defeat, that people don't see or realize or believe the selflessness that the master has. But she has persisted and truly allowed time and space to prove that one compassionate heart can do infinite good deeds in different countries, in different eras, and for different people. I'm so thankful to all of you for this opportunity. Thank you for all you do for Tzu Chi. I know that I will be following in your footsteps, learning from you. Thank you. And then
I'm sure everyone, after listening to this, surely will be very heartfelt, right? Yesterday when I first, I'm sure everyone, after listening to this, surely will be very heartfelt, right? Yesterday when I first, okay, apology. Yeah, I have another device, but this time I'm using from handphone saver. Yeah, last night when I received the script, in addition to the video, also 感动, very teary also. Don't worry, if I can't catch it, we will share the script. Brother Christopher sent it to us. Indeed, today is the most, I think we are very blessed to have the great Lumbini education Pusa from Singapore, Malaysian benefiting us with their heartfelt sharing. And later we even have Brother Christopher. Wow, truly inspiring sharing. Truly, like Brother Christopher said, Master doesn't pursue a status as a hero for others, but rather she looks to make all other heroes for the world, just like what our Lumbini brothers and sisters are also doing. Indeed, this Tzu Chi is big. The continuation lies on you and me, every one of us. None of us is less than another. So have faith that each of us as a bolt or nuts are important in this on this path. For this our path, because it's tough for Master to go on alone, which Master definitely need each of our help. Okay, like the Sutra of Infinite Meaning teaches disciples that the infinite meanings originate from one. So we are grateful to have that one great Dharma Master to benefit us, and today we have these big organizations, and all of us, may all of us be able to remain steadfast, unwavering. 祝福大家. Very grateful. Before the Chinese New Year, everyone can remain so diligent. Okay, before we end the session, okay, let us pay our respects to Buddha and Masters. And all the brothers and sisters for all your very heartfelt and wisdom sharing, our Sigma Twantui and those at Hualien. We also look forward to your sharing with Masters. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence and your support today. Hope that each of us could sustain this Dharma joy and take in another piece of Sangrens and Hualien love to our life. Let us all make 3 bows to the Buddha and Master Chuen Yan as we depart to apply all these wonderful teachings in our everyday life. Let us pay our respects to our teachers of life, universal truth. Palms together. First bow. Second bow. And third bow. Can everyone take care, everyone stay safe.
Kanan everybody, kanan.
Thank you everyone from all over the world. 祝福你们.
Team Singapore.
We look forward to more sharing.
Sister Shirley.
Sharing next
Sister
time.
Shirley.
Heartwarming one, Sister Stephanie, with Brother Joe. Definitely will return. 感恩大家. 祝福.
感恩 Sister Suat Kheng.
平安吉祥.
感恩 everybody. Bye bye. Have a great day. Shirley. 感恩大家.
都是Hualien. Send our love to Master. 商人 as you report to Master.
好。